Hey everyone, this is Chris Crazy House, and this is going to be my review for the Netflix anime series Kengan Ashura. And I will be doing spoilers in this review if you have not seen it. I mean, it's been on Netflix for, I would say, since last summer. So if you haven't seen it yet, I would recommend you go check it out if you're worried about spoilers. I won't give too much away only because it's I'm reviewing both seasons. There's two seasons on Netflix right now, and really, there's nothing that I say here that will be too surprising. There's nothing really earth-shattering about this series, or nothing that you might not expect from it. Okay, it's pretty straightforward in that regard. So, Kengan Ashura is a anime series. It's based off of a manga, and it postulates the idea that how Japanese businessmen settle all of their disputes, whether it be like money or mergers or whatever. How they settle that is they have their own gladiator that they sponsor, and when the gladiators fight it out, depending on which gladiator wins, that is who that is whichever company's gladiator wins. That's who gets the deal going, or that's whose company takes over the other company, or whatever business dealings they might have. Sometimes they just agree to have these gladiators fight it out for their company. So that is the basic plot, and it culminates in the second season with a very large tournament, a Kagan tournament, where all the companies get together on this island and they have their gladiators compete in a tournament to see whose company is going to be at the top by the end. So that's basically what the first two seasons are about, and it focuses mainly on a character named Oma Tokita, who is the main gladiator that we follow throughout the series. And his at first it's just a guy, a businessman that he meets named Yamashita, but he eventually becomes his boss. And how he gets there is kind of weird. I won't spoil it, how they how he becomes Tokita's boss. So I won't spoil that for you. But that's how the relationship builds from there. And when I first watched the first few episodes of the series, because that's what I like to do with anime series on Netflix, I'll watch maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes to see if I want to continue watching it. And I really liked kind of the direction it was going. Like, I knew it was going to be about fighting, like a fighting style anime like Baki or even some of the Street Fighter series. But what made it different was it kind of focused on the idea that this young fighter, Tokita, and the way that he lives his life inspires this middle-aged businessman to be more of a man himself and to change his own life. So I thought that plot thread would continue a little bit more throughout the series, but it doesn't. At some point, it just that you almost just forget about that plot, and it just flows right into straight tournament fighting. And then, like, by the end, they kind of pick that story back up and decide, okay, yeah, we almost forgot. Yeah, there's this relationship between Tokita and Yamashita, and we have to figure out what's going on as far as is Yamashita going to be a better man for befriending Tokita. So it's one of those weird things where they almost kind of just forgot about that and just kind of went straight up for the tournament fighting, because that kind of just that extended it. And even that, this will be my one criticism of the show, is that I feel like it spent too much time in the tournament area. Like, I was enjoying it when the series first started, where they were, these gladiators were just fighting one-on-one, and they would have fights in different areas. Like, they had a fight inside of like a parking garage. There was another fight where I think it was like almost like some warehouse somewhere, almost like like these back alley fights. Like, I liked that stuff. I thought that was where the series was going. I thought they were going to have like different venues, almost kind of like Street Fighter, or even a movie like Lionheart or something like that, where you had these different fights in these different venues. I thought that's where the series was going, but it eventually just got to them fighting in this giant blank sandy arena, which is, obviously they got the idea from grappler Baki, and some other anime series that have stuff like that. Like even thinking about like Dragon Ball Z, where they have the strongest under the heavens tournament, which is okay. But I know a lot of anime does that almost in order to just save time and take up more story than it really needs to. They even do it in other animes like Yu Yu Hakusho and whatnot, right? Having these long ass tournaments. So I thought they spent too much time on that. Now, while I think they spent too much time on it, I will say that the characters were all very interesting. All the martial artists and how they explain their style and everything like that. I actually did appreciate that. I mean, I have no problem with a good, straightforward fighting, grappling slash martial arts anime. I have no problem with that at all. I think that's actually pretty cool. And what was good about this, while there are some extreme versions of the martial arts, for the most part, this series is fairly grounded. Now, obviously, they're going to take it to the extreme in some spots where guys are doing things that are humanly impossible. Like, there's this one guy who's like a doctor who sharpens the bones in his hands and whatnot and uses them as blades, because you're not allowed to have a weapon in this tournament at all, but you can use any part of your body you want. So he literally sharpened the bones in his hands as blades and whatnot. I was like, okay, they took that a little too far, but for the most part, it's a good series. Okay, and I think if you are a fan of any type of martial arts or fighting, you will enjoy this. This anime is very manly, and in a world where manly cartoons don't really exist anymore. You know what I mean? Like in this, or I should say in the genres of anime that come here to the States, you don't really see too much manly stuff anymore. This series has very high testosterone, I'll say that. And if you guys are into stuff like that, you will enjoy it. What's very interesting is I know a lot of females who are fans of anime and animation who love this series as well. So that testosterone, they're responding to it as well. Like I know a lot of women there who are fans of this show. Because I see them, when the series first started, they would do reactions to it or comment on it as they would watch each episode, or if they did like a binge watch on these as well. So girls seem to like this. So don't always think that girls like soft anime or romantic anime. There's women out there that love guys brawling too. I mean, most of these guys are all in every episode with no shirt on, so maybe it's a little fan service for them too. So who knows? But like I said, I enjoyed the series. Like I said, it's good that it was straightforward. I like that, just to see an animated series that's not too complicated story-wise. Like it's good to have that, where I can watch a series that's a little bit more complicated in its narrative, but I can also watch this. I'll watch this as like a block of episodes, and it's kind of like a good, relaxing, hardcore fighting. I mean, some of the fighting scenes are very well done, and I normally don't like these 3D animated anime series, but this one actually is good. This one I appreciate very much. Whatever they did with the motion capture and the animation, they did a very good job as far as really portraying the different fighting styles that are out there. There's this one really great episode towards the end of season 2 where they have a full-on MMA match that looks great. It looks amazing. Like the characters are switching between grappling and ground and pound to doing locks and jujitsu holds and locks and whatnot. It looks really very well done. And one of my favorite characters from the show, I would say, is the Sekabashi character, who's a pro wrestler. He's probably one of my favorites. He's this big, hulking, muscular guy, and he has cornrows. He's not black, but he has the cornrows. He has lots of scars as well. And he fights the main character, Tokita, in a parking garage. That's one of my favorite. It's like a 2-part episode in the first season. But that's one of my favorite fights in there. So, like I said, if you are into manly anime, you like fight anime and martial arts, especially if you're a martial artist yourself, you'll appreciate this, because like I said, whoever they had doing the motion capture are obviously people that knew what they were doing. No BS here. Actual martial artists doing the animation and also doing the motion capture as well. So you'll enjoy it. So, I mean, like I said, other than my gripe about them spending too much time with the tournament and it taking place all in one spot, even Like I even thought like it was gonna go to a point where, because right even before they get to the tournament, they have to ride on that cruise ship. There were some fights going on the cruise ship, so I thought like, okay, that's cool. They can get some fights in even before they get there. But once they get to the island, it's pretty much just all there in one spot. Even though you can challenge somebody outside of the ring, like if you're just having to meet somebody outside or in a bar or in the hallway, you can fight there too. So, like I said, it's a good series, and I think you guys will enjoy it. Go check it out on Netflix. Like I said, both seasons are on there now. Anyway, Chris Crazy House signing out. Peace.